And we're back with more New York Rangers franchise mode in FHM 11. And in this one, we are going to continue the year 7 offseason, as we do have a couple more moves to make before we head into year number 8. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be trading Philip Hedl. I know he's been a good player for us over the years. He's been a career-long Ranger up to this point. But the thing is, he's making $7.6 million for the next 2 years, and we're currently at $90.6 million in cap. We are above the cap ceiling. As far as defensemen go, I really like our defensive core. I want to keep this defensive core together for as long as possible. Fox, Willander, Bachvist, O'Rourke, Matachuk, Väisänen, and Lebre. And then at forward, you have Nadeau, who's making $3 million, a steal of a deal for a player who produces like he does. 79 points last year, 87 points the year before, 79 the year before that. So the fact that we have him at $3 million is incredible, honestly. And then Artamonov, who is making 4.3, Tomek at 4 mil, Helenius, our new acquisition from last episode, who is an absolute beast of a hitter with 334 hits last year for the Edmonton Oilers. Then you have Ratcliffe, who's good bang for his buck. Then Sardarian, once again, a good bang for his buck. So the odd man out here is Philip Hedl. He's 31 years of age as well, so he's going to start dropping soon. And he did see a reduction in his point production last year, only 49 points. I mean, that's still very good, don't get me wrong, but again, we do need to clear up cap, and Hedl is the odd man out. So we're going to be trading him to Chicago, and what we'll be receiving in return is a first-round pick. That's right. So we're going to be replenishing our stock of first-round picks, because I know we've been trading quite a few of them away lately. So this is an effort to not only clear up cap space, but to hopefully make the future of the Rangers look a little bit brighter. So offer trade, and we'll see what they say. Next up, we are going to make a trade with Utah, and that will send Bennett Kelly, who's 23 years of age, right-handed defenseman. He's got the 2-star ability, 3-star potential. He's a 4-time Stanley Cup champion, apparently, despite never playing in the NHL. But he has not been developing the way I hoped he would, so we're going to be sending him this way in the trade, along with the rights to Liam Bixell and Riker Kessler, and a 3rd-round pick from LA, as well as a 4th-round pick from Carolina. And who we will be receiving in return is Daniil Boo. He's only making 1.6 for 1 year. Very good screener at 20 screening rating. Defensive ratings aren't great, but they're passable. Physical ratings are pretty good. Mental ratings pretty good. Look at his career stats. Last year with Utah, he had 52 points in 77 games played and a 62 grade, and also 101 hits. So he's a good player to have, I think. So offer trade, and we'll see what they say about that. Now, there's actually one more thing I want to do, and that's extend Tom Willander, the 4-star ability defenseman who we traded for last year from Vancouver. He did very well for us, 34 points, 63 grade. He had 146 hits as well, so definitely want to keep him around, and we will offer him a contract. He wants 6.7 for 3 years. I will try to take him down a little bit, and I managed to get him down to 6.2 for 3 years. And now there is actually one more thing we need to address. That is the future of Guy Boucher. So last year, obviously, we had a pretty big slide. I think was it January? A really terrible January that led us, I think we had lost 9 straight at one point. And it was at that point where I was considering firing Guy Boucher. But the 2 previous seasons before that, he was pretty solid. We were a very solid team. We even had injuries in the playoffs. We managed to get to a game 7 in round number 3, I believe it was 3 years ago. And then 2 years ago, we had a whole boatload of injuries. I think that was the year where we had injuries to Fox, Bachvist, Artamonov, Yeko, and Ratcliffe. And we still somehow managed to get to a game 7 in round number 2. So what we're going to do here, I will give Guy Boucher the benefit of the doubt. All right, well, we're going to see how he does to start out this season. But if we have any kind of slide that resembles what we did last year, then he's gone. I think that's a fair compromise. Because I'll be honest, in the last one, I was leaning towards firing him. But I do want to give him one more shot, because I think a large part of last season can be attributed to goaltending. So I want to see how he does with one more chance here. And the Chicago Blackhawks have accepted our offer of Philip Hedl for a 1st-round pick. Complete trade. There it is. Thank you for your service, Philip Hedl. But it was time to move on. And Utah has also accepted our trade of Bennett Kelly, a 3rd-round pick, a 4th-round pick, and the rights to Liam Bixell and Riker Kessler in exchange for Daniil Boo. Complete trade. So now that our team salary is at 84.2 in cap, I think we're going to go out and sign one more forward. Obviously, no one too crazy, but we can't afford to go over the cap here. I think we're going to sign Aiden Park. He's a 2-star ability, and he is got some good speed there at 18. Passing's at 16, offensive read is at 16, faceoffs at 16, positioning at 16, and just pretty well rounded in general. Mental ratings are a bit lower than I'd like them to be, but that's okay. And he also wants a minimum deal, so we will do this for him. And I guess it couldn't hurt to get a few more depth players while we're at it. Just some really cheap depth. Ronnie Hervinen, sure. And then we also have not Jack Hughes. So we're going to sign him too. We have our own Jack Hughes now. So we will sign him for 1.1 for 2 years. And just as some depth on defense, I will sign Tapi Niemela and Kasper Kulonumi. Obviously, that does put us a little bit above the salary cap ceiling, but we're going to have to send 4 of those guys down anyway. So we should be fine going into this regular season. So with that being said, let's make our way to the Hall of Fame inductions. And inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame this year are Alex Ovechkin, Patrick Kane, Glenn Wesley, and Sergei Bobrovsky. Right, we moved out Hedel, so we're going to have to set a new alternate here. You have Fox as the captain, and then you have Nadeau as an alternate. I think it's going to be Bachvest. Ooh, Boyko starts out with an injury, separated shoulder, 2 to 3 weeks. So with that, we're going to need to sign a goalie. So I suppose we will see what Sergei Ivanov can do. And he's actually, it looks like, is on a tryout with the Islanders, but that doesn't prevent us from approaching to sign him. So there you go. Ivanov now on the team. All right, we have finished the preseason. We had a very good preseason, only lost 1 game against Edmonton. So I'm hoping that is a good omen of things to come. In goal, you have Onefels and Ivanov. Ivanov had a very good preseason, it looks like, 82 grade, as he had a .931 save percentage in 2 games played. Defensively, we'll send down Niemela and Kulonumi. Then forward, we'll send down Hervinen. And it looks like Harshan Kyla was kind of struggling defensively there. So I will send him down as well. So there you go. That is our roster of 23. Alnefelt and Ivanov in goal. On defense, Fox, Willander, Bachvest, O'Rourke, Matachuk, Väisänen, and Lebre. At forward, Artamanov, Tomek, Nadeau, Ryabkin, Helenius, Ratcliffe, Sardorian, Pitre, Marinochkin, Boo, Venberg, Forster, Hughes, and Park. Oof, Alnefelt in 2 games played so far with a 783. One of these days, I will have consistently good goaltending, and everything will be right with the world. All right, we're on November 1st. We are 5-6. It's a very delicate situation. I think we're going to need to take this game by game for a little bit here to see what happens over the next 5 games or so, because that'll really determine, I think, what happens with Guy Boucher. Because as of right now, our goaltenders, Boyko and Ivanov, are doing a pretty good job. 945 save percentage for Boyko in 7 games played, and 919 for Ivanov in 4 games played. It was just Alnefelt in 2 games played, that 783. That was really concerning to start out the season. Then Artamanov's going 12 points so far in 11 games played. Tomek with 9. However, everybody else drops off immediately to Ryabkin with 5. 4 for Boo, Wenberg, Bachvest, and Willander, and then 3 for Forster, Fox, Helenius, Matachuk, Marinochkin, and Nadeau. I would imagine that we're not really scoring too much based off what we're seeing here. Let's see the team stats. Yep, we are 31st in the league at the 2.45 so far in 11 games played. At least our goals against per game is really solid. We're up there all the way in 3rd with a 2.55. If it were not for Boyko and Ivanov playing really well right now, we would probably have like 2 wins right now. So we're going to take this 1 game at a time here and see if our offense can step it up. Game against the Islanders, a 5-4 victory. Okay. Game against Carolina will be a 5-4 victory. All right. So the 2 offensive heavy games. However, it seems our defense and goaltending were a bit shaky in those 2 games. So preferably, I would like a game where we could be scoring a lot and also tight defensively. Game against Florida, 3-2 loss. I mean, that was an overtime loss, so I'll take it. Game against Columbus, 3-2 win. All right, I'll take it. Game against LA, 2-1 win. All right, I mean, we didn't score much, but we got the win. That's all that matters. Game against Anaheim, 5-3 victory. All right, that's what you like to see. Now we're getting somewhere. Game against Vegas, 4-3 loss. All right. There's nothing wrong with a loss here and there. It's just the consistent losing that I will not accept. San Jose, 5-3 loss. Do not give me another one. Do not give me another one here against Tampa Bay. 3-2 loss. Okay, so we're 20 games in. And where are we in the standings? We're 3rd in the division, but that's a really, really iffy 3rd. Like that we could end up anywhere between 1st and last within a matter of a few games here, depending on how they go. Because New Jersey's sitting there in 1st with 22 points. We have 21. Philly has 21 as well. Washington has 21. Pittsburgh has 21. Then you have Carolina with 19. The Islanders with 18. And the Columbus with 17. So the remainder of the month of November and the month of December is going to be crucial in determining whether or not we're going to make the playoffs this year. how we've been doing. Artamanov with 24 points. He's been going. Then it drops down to Tomek with 15, Ryabkin with 12, Boo with 10. Oof. I do not like the look of this. I don't like that. Goaltending has been doing great somehow. Boyko in 16 games played with a 915. Ivanov in 4 games played with a 919. Yeah, I mean, we're better, but still not anywhere near where we need to be. 2.8 goals for per game, 28th in the league. Goals against per game, 4th in the league, 2.85. Faceoffs, 6th in the league with a 51.7. Power play is 19th in the league with a 20.9. And then the penalty kill is 21st in the league with a 76.8. I don't know. I think Boucher's got to go. Because at 20 games in, despite the fact that we're third in the division, we're basically at 500 right now. And I do not want that pattern continuing all season. There's no way that we're going to be making the playoffs like that. Yeah, I think I'm going to look around for a new coach. There's a coach with the last name Wynn, Richard Wynn. Maybe this is what we need. He's got a non-physical preference, so probably not. I mean, I like my teams to be physical. And obviously we have a bunch of physical players on this team. So I don't know how well that's going to work. I mean, you know what? Maybe we just hire him as an assistant coach. Have someone with the name Wynn on the team. There you go. Richard Wynn, now a member of the New York Rangers. And now let's go out and find our actual head coach. Maybe we get a very offensive coach to make up for the fact that we're not scoring right now. No physical preference, unfortunately, but he's very innovative. I like that about him. High tactics, high motivation. So I'll consider Rich Ross, but I'm going to keep looking. Gregory Monroe is also an option. Defensive preference, physical preference, and aggressive line matching tendency. I do like that. However, only a balanced innovation. I would like someone who's innovative. High motivation, high tactics. I do like him, but I don't know if he's perfect, but he is certainly an option. Ooh, here's one. Byron Miller. Offensive, balanced, aggressive, very innovative. 16 motivation, 15 tactics. Again, he's not perfect, but he's definitely a solid candidate. Yeah, I think Byron Miller is going to be the winner here. From my experience, all the best coaches that I've had on teams in the past that are trying to go for the Stanley Cup have 3 things in common: high motivation, high tactics, and are innovative or very innovative. And while motivation is at 16 and tactics is at 15, so it's not as high as I'd like it to be, that is better than Guy Boucher's motivation at 12 and tactics at 15. And Guy Boucher is actually very innovative as well. But the thing I like about Byron Miller compared to Guy Boucher is that he has the aggressive line matching tendency as well, in addition to his offensive preference, which at this point, I mean, I think the team has changed a lot over the time that we've had Guy Boucher as our coach. So I think it's time for a change in the coaching department. So we will be firing Guy Boucher from his contract, and we will be making Byron Miller our new head coach. So let's see what he can do. Wow, we've had some really high scoring games ever since we hired on our new guy in Byron Miller. Back in November, we had a 9-3 win over Toronto. Now in December, we had an 8-2 win over Vegas and an 8-4 win over Edmonton just now. So things are certainly looking up offensively, it seems. All right, we are on January 1st now, 22-14-2. We've been doing much better as of late. We're currently second in the division, just behind New Jersey. As we take a look at our schedule, throughout December, that was a pretty good month of December. In addition to the 8-2 win and 8-4 win we saw previously, we had a 7-3 win against Pittsburgh, a 7-4 win against Boston, a 7-0 win against Carolina. So we're clearly much, much better at scoring now. But the key is to be able to do that while playing defense and good in goal, which it seems we have been doing for the most part. Ivanov in 7 games played with a 907, and then Boyko in 31 games played with a 913. So that is certainly good to see. On defense, you have Adam Fox with 29 points. Then you have 17 for Willander, 15 for Matachuk, 13 for Bachfest, 11 for Weissman, 9 for O'Rourke, and 8 for LeBray in 18 games played. And then at forward, you have 49 in 38 games played for Artamanov. He is certainly on it this season. Then you have Tomek with 32, 31 for Ryabkin, 24 for Nadeau, 22 for Ratcliffe, 19 for Boo and Helenius, 14 for Petre, 13 for Sardarian, 12 for Marinochkin, 11 for Forster, 8 for Wenberg, 6 for Hughes and Park. And now let's take a look at the team stats, see how our goals for per game has improved. I would imagine it has done so drastically. Yes, indeed. We are now 8th in the league for goals for per game with a 3.53, and goals against per game, we are 5th in the league with a 2.87. So we are certainly doing much better on all cylinders now. Faceoffs, we're at a 51.9. Power play, has this improved? A little bit, yeah. We're 18th in the league now with a 20.6. And then the penalty kill looks like it has drastically improved. Yes, indeed. 81.1, 10th in the league. So I think we can keep going here. We are on a pretty good stretch right now. And I think we just keep those momentum going into the trade deadline. Oh, first major injury of the year, Petre out for 1 to 2 months. All right, we are at the trade deadline. We are 35, 23, and 6. Good enough for second in the division at 76 points. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to catch New Jersey. They're at 92 points now, but we can at least stay in a playoff spot. So let's take a look at the stats, see who's doing what. In goal, you have Boyko with a 9-10 save percentage of 53 games played. So maybe, just maybe, we can have some consistent goaltending going into the playoffs. That would be so nice. And then you have Ivanov in 12 games played with a 9-15. Although it seems in 12 games played, Ivanov only has 1 win, even with the 9-15 save percentage. So the team, unfortunately, does not seem to enjoy playing in front of Ivanov for whatever reason. And in this case, it doesn't appear to be the goaltender's fault. So may have to consider just keeping Boyko in there, just for the fact that he can string some wins together. Defensively, you have Fox with 44 points, Willander with 33, 30 for Matachuk, 21 for O'Rourke, 19 for Bachvis, 17 for Väisänen, and 9 for Lebre. And then at forward, you have 72 points for Artamonov. Artamonov is lighting it up this year. Then you have 49 for Tomek, 46 for Ryabkin, 45 for Nadeau, 40 for Ratcliffe, 34 for Helenius, 26 for Boo and Sardarian, 16 for Forrester and Marinochkin, 15 for Petre, and then you have 11 for Venberg, 10 for Hughes, and 8 for Park. So overall, I'd say there's not really much that we need to do here. I think we just advance straight into the playoffs. It has, for the most part, been working out for us. And I think we just got to hope that we can continue this form going into the playoffs. So let's do just that and make our way to the end of the regular season. Oh, major injury to Boo. 2-3 weeks with the rotator cuff strain. That's fine. He'll be back before the playoffs. Well, look who's on waivers. A goaltender that we have in an alternate universe, Adam Gajan, currently with the Dallas Stars on a minimum contract, it seems. Yes, indeed. What's his save percentage looking like so far? 948 in 3 games played for Dallas, and then for Chicago, a 925. And that's not bad. It seems like he's a good simulator. All right, I forgot we have Aldefelt still in the minors, making that 5.85. We're going to have to try to move him in the offseason. Still, Ivanov and Boyko are doing well, so I think I'm going to pass on Gajan, but it's good to know that he is a good simulator throughout the save files. All right, we have finished the regular season 45, 29, and 8. Good enough for second in the Metropolitan Division. Of course, New Jersey had 117 points, so we weren't catching them. They won the President's Trophy, but we did still manage to stay in the playoffs, and that's what's important here. Let's see team stats. Goals for per game, we finished 13th in the league with 3.38. Goals against per game, we finished 4th in the league with a 2.82. Consistent goaltending. You love to see it. Yeah, you absolutely love to see it. Face-off percentage, we were 3rd in the league with a 52.7. Power play, we were 24th in the league with an 18.9. That got a bit worse. Penalty kill, we were 16th in the league with the 79.9. So special teams could be better, but overall, we were very good this year. Now let's get a look at the final player stats for the season. In goal, you have Boyko in 70 games played with 9 shutouts and a 909 save percentage. That is what you like to see. So despite struggling last year with that 895 save percentage in 56 games played, he rebounds this year with a 909. And hopefully he can do the same thing in the playoffs. Ivanov in 14 games played with a 912 save percentage, still only somehow had 1 victory on the season. So we'll keep Boyko in there for the playoffs. On defense, you have 58 points for Fox, 41 for Willander, 39 for Matachuk, 27 for Bachvest, 25 for O'Rourke, 22 for Väisänen, and 10 for Lebre. And at forward, Artamonov with 92 points. I believe that is that a career high? Yes, indeed. That is a career high for Nikita Artamonov. Then you have Tomek with 67, Nadeau with 63, 55 for Ryabkin, 50 for Ratcliffe, 43 for Helenius. Let's see how many hits he had this season compared to last season with Edmonton. 274. All right. I mean, I'm not complaining about that. That is certainly a lot more than most other players in the league. So let's hope he can rough up our opponents during the playoffs. And you have Sardarian with 38, Boo with 35, 23 for Marinochkin, 21 for Forrester, 19 for Petre, 16 for Venberg, and then 10 for Hughes and Park. Unfortunately, however, it seems Ryabkin fractured. He suffered an injury on March 16th that will keep him out for the playoffs and actually may even continue into next season. Now I think about it. So we're going to call up Kyla here. And now we will see who we have in the first round of the playoffs. And it will be the 41-33-8 Washington Capitals. They have Draisaitl, Byfield, Dvorsky, Drysdale, Kennedy, LaPierre. Looks like Dvorsky's their main guy there, so we're going to have to watch out for him. 44 goals on the season, 89 points. So with that all being done, we will end things off here. And the next one, we will go through the Year 8 playoffs, starting out against the Washington Capitals.